Hi again, everyone. Gary Digit Williams here on Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network. And the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network can be heard on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio.com, Stitcher.com, and on TuneIn.com, as well as on YouTube. And so you can subscribe. You want to hear the podcast live as we record it. You can go to Spreaker.com. Otherwise, you can go to TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio.com, or YouTube to hear the podcast. And all the podcast network has archived recordings of all our podcasts. We're up to 519 podcasts with this podcast, which is going to be pretty huge. It's not going to be that long, folks, but it's going to be huge. We're packed with some major news this week, and for the next few weeks, we'll be packed for some serious news in the Beltway over the next few months. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Of course, next week on the podcast, during the news and notes, we're going to talk about the entire April schedule. But we have a big update today. We're going to give you the entire card that'll take place on Sunday, March 24th at MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. The entire card is out now. And again, we've been talking about some of the local boxers possibly being on the show, where that possibility became a reality even more than we thought it would be. It's going to be a pretty long night at MGM National Harbor on Sunday, but still big. And so we're going to give you the entire card, run down the entire card, and we're going to get some big news that came down the pike today. Big news and a big event for the Beltway coming up in the next few weeks. Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network is brought to you by Real-Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, from shoulder pain to muscle strain, everything in between, Boxing on the Beltway recommends Real-Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. You go to freepainoffer.com, you buy $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief, and you get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com, where she has great weight loss tips. In the new book she has, you have weight loss without dieting, eating real food along the way. And also she has that great jewelry on sale if you go to Deborah, Debra Spears.com. Well, let's get right to it, folks. I'm going to give you the entire card for the Premier Boxing Champions, the Bella Entertainment, and TGB Promotions card. That'll take place on Sunday, March 24th at MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. And it'll start at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with some of the preliminaries shown on FS1 and Fox Deportes at 6 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., the main event bouts will take place. And one of those main event bouts includes the former three-time two-division world champion, Lamont Peterson of Washington, D.C. He's 35-4 with one draw, 17 KOs. He'll be in a 12-round welterweight contest against former IBF super lightweight champion, Sergey Samurai Lipinets. He's from Beverly Hills, California, by way of Kazakhstan. His record, 14-1. 10 KOs. We talked about that bout. We've also talked about the co-feature, which features Lamont's younger brother, Anthony Peterson. Anthony's 37-1, 24 KOs. He'll be in a 10-round lightweight bout against former IBF super featherweight champion Argenis Mendez of Brooklyn, New York, by way of the Dominican Republic. Mendez is 25-5-1, 12 KOs. We've also talked about this bout. Alexander, Virginia middleweight Brandon Bulldog Quarles. He is 21-4 with one draw and 10 KOs. He'll be in an 8-round encounter against Aaron Coley of Hayward, California, who's 15-2-1, 7 KOs. And we've also talked about this bout. Baltimore, Maryland super middleweight Lorenzo Truck Simpson in his rookie year. He's 2-0, 2 KOs. He'll take on Earl Jerry Henry of San Diego, California, who's 0-2-1. And that bout is scheduled for 4 rounds. Now, those are the bouts we've already talked about. And there's another bout in there we'll talk about a little bit later that we've mentioned before. But we have a lot of updates on this card. Some new bouts have been added to the card. And one bout has changed on this card. And that bout actually is pretty big, in all honesty, as far as name recognition is concerned. All right, here's some of the bouts featuring local boxers that we have not talked about yet. Undefeated Hyattsville middleweight lightweight Cobia, the Soldier Breedy. He'll be in his first 8-round contest. He'll take on Fernando Chiquito Fuentes of Emmett, California. Now, Breedy, of course, is a native of Bridgetown, Barbados. He's undefeated, 12-0, 4 KOs. He comes off a 6-round unanimous decision win over Drew Correll on June 16th. That was at the Gardens Ice House in Laurel, Maryland. So Breedy, who's fought very well as of late, he's fought very good contests, and he'll be again in first 8-rounder for him against Fuentes, who's 14-7-1, 4 KOs. He competes on the East Coast for the very first time. Most of his bouts were on the West Coast of the country, and he's unbeaten in his last 8 contests, including an 8-round unanimous decision win over Jose Ramirez on June 10th in Lancaster, California. Let me give you his record again: 14-7-1, 4 KOs. So that's an 8-round bout. Kobe Breedy against Fernando Fuentes. Another undefeated Beltway boxer from Hyattsville, super lightweight Patrick YG Pat Harris, will be in an 8-round contest against Bergman the Snake Aguilar. He's from Icazú, Costa Rica, by way of Nicaragua. Harris is 14-0, 8 KOs. He last fought on September 22nd, won an 8-round unanimous decision over Stefan McIntyre. That was at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. He won a minor title, an ABF title, on that card, and I was fortunate enough to be the ring announcer for that particular bout. So that's the last time that Patrick Harris has fought. He'll take on Aguilar, who's 14-4-1, 4 KOs. He's lost his last 2 contests, including a 5th-round TKO loss to Michael Dutchover, a very good boxer, who's fought here in the Beltway, fought at the MGM National Harbor about a year or so ago. That he lost to Dutchover on September 21st in Ontario, California. So YGP Patrick Harris, he'll take on Patrick Harris, should say, will take on Bergman Aguilar. That bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the super lightweight division. DC welterweight Kareem Remo Martin, he'll be in a 6-round contest against Joaquin Chico Chavez of Las Vegas, Nevada. Martin is 11-2-1, 3 KOs. He last fought on December 1st at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in D.C. He won a 6-round unanimous decision over Andrew Rogers. Chavez is 9-17-3, 2 KOs. He'll be looking to break a 4-bout losing streak, and he hasn't fought since September of 2015 when he lost a 6-round unanimous decision to Juan Heraldez in Las Vegas. All right, so that's Kareem Martin, 6-round bout against Joaquin Chavez of Las Vegas. Another DC welterweight. He was the 2018 Beltway Boxing Rookie of the Year. That's the next big thing. Keyshawn Williams. He'll be in a 6-rounder, his first 6-rounder, when he takes on veteran Eventually prizefighter Dixon of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Williams is 4-0-1, 1 KO. He last fought on October 13th, won a 4-round unanimous decision over Ramel Snegger in Omaha, Nebraska. Dixon is 7-22-2, 2 KOs. He'll try to break a 7-bout losing streak. Dixon last fought on July 28th in Los Angeles, lost a 4-round unanimous decision to Wesley Joel Diana on that card. And also another bout that was featured in that streak was a loss to Kareem Martin. And Martin defeated Dixon by 6-round unanimous decision in D.C. I believe that bout was at the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C. in August of 2017. So that's a big bout there. 6-round bout. Keyshawn Williams, the next big thing, he'll take on Eventually prizefighter Dixon on that card, scheduled for 6 rounds. Another guy who will make the 6 rounders for the first time, that's Clarksburg, Maryland middleweight Mark Salas Duncan. He had a great rookie season in his own right. He will take on Arturo Izquierdo of Las Vegas by way of Costa Rica. And again, this bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Duncan is 3-0, all 3 wins by KO. And once again, great rookie campaign. In his last outing, he won a 3rd-round TKO over Daniel Garcia Flores. That was this year, January 26th, in Brooklyn, New York, at the Barclays Center. Izquierdo is 5-2, 2 KOs. He won his first 5 contests, but he's lost 2 in a row now, including a 3rd-round TKO to Javier Albanica. That was on August 18th in Studio City, California. So Mark Salas Duncan will take on Arturo Izquierdo in a 6-round bout in the middleweight division on this card. This card coming up Sunday, March 24th at MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Now, there'll be one change on this card. One of the bouts between Jose Miguel Barrero and Jerry Thomas. We talked about that bout last week. Well, that bout would not take place. Apparently, Thomas decided at the last minute he didn't want to take the bout. So they have changed the card, and it's a pretty good change for us. Former WBC Super Middleweight Champion Sakio the Scorpion Bika of New South Wales, Australia, by way of Cameroon. He'll be in a 10-round bout against Lionel Lonnie B. Thompson of Las Vegas by way of Buffalo, New York. Bika is 34-7-3, 22 KOs. He returns to boxing for the first time since October 2017. He won a 10-round unanimous decision over Gerard Ajetovic. That was in Sydney, Australia. Now, Bika won the WBC Super Middleweight Championship in June of 2013. He won a majority decision over Marco Antonio Peribon in Brooklyn, New York. And he also, you may remember, a few years ago was on the Contender Series. He got to the semifinals of that and lost to eventual champion. I believe he was the eventual champion that year, Sam Solomon. I believe he was a champion. Not exactly sure. I think he was a champion that year. So Sakio Bika will take on Lionel Thompson. Thompson is 20-5 with 11 KOs. He last fought on September 22nd and won a 10-round unanimous decision over Derek Finley in Las Vegas. Now, as we talked about last week, a featured bout on the card will be a 10-round contest between Cincinnati, Ohio super welterweight, the quiet assassin Jamonte Clark, and undefeated Vernon Brown of Chicago, Illinois. Clark is 13-1, 7 KOs. He lost for the first time in his last outing, which was a 10-round unanimous decision over Jason Rosario on August 24th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, as we told you last week, Clark made his pro debut here in the Beltway. He defeated Lee Creasher by third-round TKO in January of 2014 at the D.C. Armory in Washington, D.C. That was on the Lamont Peterson, Thierry Jean card. Brown is 10-0-1, 7 KOs, comes off a first-round knockout win over Marlon Lewis on October 13th in Gary, Indiana. So Clark will be a good competition for Brown. Brown has not fought a lot of quality competition, so this will be a big step up for Vernon Brown against Jamonte Clark. Now, in an 8-round contest, featherweight Ramon Dinamita Cardenas of San Antonio, Texas, he'll battle Ryan Lee Stone Allen of Las Vegas by way of Jackson, Michigan. Now, there are a number of boxers, as you can tell now, from Las Vegas on this card. Cardenas is 16-1, 9 KOs. He's won 4 straight contests since suffering his only loss in April 2017. Cardenas in his last outing won a 10-round unanimous decision over Ramsey Luna. That's on October 27th in San Antonio. Now, Cardenas, I got a chance to meet him a little bit. Cardenas is training for this bout here at the Headbangers Gym in Washington, D.C. So he'll get the training from Barry Hunter and the Harris brothers going into this card coming up. Allen is 8-2-1, 4 KOs. He's riding a 3-bout winning streak, including a first-round knockout win over Javier Miranda on December the 9th in Tijuana, Mexico. So this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds. Ramon Cardenas taking on Ryan Lee Allen on this card. Making his pro debut on this show will be Cincinnati, Ohio super lightweight Adrian Benton, who will face veteran Archie Weah of Norcross, Georgia, by way of Liberia. Benton was not only won a National Golden Glove Championship in 2018, but he was awarded the Golden Boy Trophy as the most outstanding boxer of the Golden Glove tournament in 2018 that was held in Omaha, Nebraska. And, of course, a couple of Beltway boxers have won that award. Gary Antonio Russell did it in 2013, and in 2012, it was Jerry Odom. And, of course, 2012 was the year we had 3 National Golden Glove champions in Demetrius Ballard, Odom, and Gervonta Davis. So we know about that Golden Boy situation there. Weah is 2-12. He'll be trying to break a 3-bout losing streak, and Weah also fought a debuting Dante Cox back on July of 2017. In July of 2017, he lost a 4-round majority decision to Cox in Washington, D.C. at the Spinks Club. So that is the card for this coming Sunday, March 24th. It'll be live at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Once again, the doors open, and the first bout is scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Some of the preliminary bouts will be on at 6 p.m. On FS1 and Fox Deportes, and FS1 has the live coverage. And again, we know the Peterson brothers will be on TV. Now we're not sure whether or not it's going to be Sakio Bika or will it be Jamonte Clark that'll be on television in the main event, the featured bouts that'll take place on FS1 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But please, come on out. Come support the Beltway boxers, especially the Peterson brothers. Come out and support them. Let's pack this place at MGM National Harbor again, as we've done throughout the last couple of years at MGM. Let's continue to do that and get a great crowd out there. Sunday, March 24th, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time from the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Now, earlier today, we got some big news. I mean, some huge news. We knew about this taking place. Actually, early in the week, there was an announcement that this bout was going to take place. We didn't know exactly we didn't know exactly where, but we knew it was going to be somewhere in the Beltway region. Well, We now know where it's going to be, when it's going to be, and what the main event is going to be. Here we go. Undefeated and unified 154-pound world champion Swift Jared Hurd of Accokeek, Maryland. He'll defend his WBA, IBF, IBO championships against contender, the number one contender, as a matter of fact, in the IBF, Julian J. Rock Williams of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That'll be on Saturday, May 11th, and it'll be held at the Eagle Bank Arena on the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. This bout will be televised live on Fox, not Fox Sports 1. It'll be Fox and on Fox Deportes. That's big news. No question about that. Now, for Hurd, he's 23-0, 16 KOs. This will be the third defense of his IBF title and the second defense of his WBA and IBO crowns. Now, in his last outing, Hurd successfully defended all those titles with a fourth-round knockout over Jason Wellborn. That was on December 1st at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Now, this will be the first time that Hurd has fought in the Beltway since November of 2014. He scored a first-round knockout on that card over Terry Cade. That was at Constitution Hall in Washington, D.C. Dusty Hernandez Harrison, I believe, headlined that show. And that's the last time that Jared Hurd has fought anywhere in the Beltway until this coming May 11th. Now, Williams is 26-1-1, 16 KOs. As we said, he's number one contender in the IBF. He's ranked number 4 in the world by the WBA, I believe. And his lone loss, Williams' lone loss came in December 26th. We made his first attempt for a world title. He was knocked out in the 5th round by Jamal Charlo for the IBF Super Welterweight title. That was in Los Angeles. Now, Williams has won 4 straight since that bout, including a second-round knockout over Francisco Javier Castro on that same December 1st card that Jared Hurd fought Jason Wellborn on at Staples Center in Los Angeles. And actually, Williams has been kind of chasing Hurd a little bit because Williams was also on the card where, on April 7th of last year, where Hurd defeated Erislandy Lara to defend his IBF title and to win the WBA and the IBO championships. So yes, that's a great one there. That should be a very good bout. No question about that. Jared Hurd against Julian J. Rock Williams. We'll see what Williams has against Hurd, who's just fought tremendously. He's starting to get looks in the pound-for-pound rankings. I know ESPN, I know he got at least one vote from the people who choose the pound-for-pound rankings for ESPN. He got one vote for that. So we'll see. I mean, this bout could put him over the edge, especially if he has a great performance against Julian Williams. And again, fighting in front of his home crowd. And I tell you, Hurd has a great following. That place, the Eagle Bank Arena, should be packed for that card on Saturday, May 11th. So we'll see. It should be fantastic. No question about that. Now, there will be another Beltway boxer on this card. Richmond, Virginia middleweight, the chosen one, Emmanuel Ali, will be in a 10-round encounter against veteran and former world title challenger Matt Korobov of St. Petersburg, Florida, by way of Russia. Now, we choose to name Emmanuel Ali as a Beltway boxer, even though he's from Richmond, because he and his brother Moshe train a lot in this area. They come to this area pretty frequently, and they asked us, and along with his father Omar, they asked us if they could be considered Beltway boxers. So Juan Marsh and I have decided to do that, and we have been following his career throughout. Aleem is 18-1-1, 11 KOs. He bounced back from a third-round loss to Hugo Centeno in August of 2017 by stopping Juan de Angel in the 6th round on May 19th at MGM National Harbor Casino. Korobov is 28-2, 14 KOs. He looks to regain his winning ways after dropping a 12-round unanimous decision once again to Jamal Charlo, but this time it was for the interim WBC middleweight title. That was on December 22nd at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Now, Korobov was a late substitution in that bout, and he really gave a good accounting of himself in that contest. Korobov's both his losses, he's again 28-2. Both of his losses have come in world title bouts. Korobov's first loss came in a 6-round TKO loss to Andy Lee for the WBO middleweight crown. That was in December of 2014 in Las Vegas. Now, this will be the first boxing card held at Eagle Bank Arena, formerly known as the Patriot Center, since October 17, 2015. That was the night, of course, when Lamont Peterson defeated Felix Diaz by 12-round majority decision. I thought, in all honesty, Luan Peterson got a gift that day. I really did. I thought Diaz might have gotten the win on that one. But that was also the card, more importantly, where Pritchard Colon was badly injured in his bout against Terrell Williams. And last I heard, Colon is doing better, but he'll never regain the functions that he once had, unfortunately. So that's that card. Of course, the Patriot Center / Eagle Bank Arena has had a history of great local cards, especially the cards that featured Jimmy Lang, who was a true franchise boxer. And really, the Patriot Center / Eagle Bank Arena was the house that Jimmy Lang built as far as boxing is concerned in Northern Virginia. So we'll see what happens there. Once again, that is Saturday, May 11th at the Eagle Bank Arena on the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. That'll be Swift Jared Hurd defending his titles against Julian J. Rock Williams of Philadelphia. Now, tickets go on sale for this contest 1 week from today as we record this, Thursday, March 28th. It can be purchased through Ticketmaster.com. So Thursday, March 28th, tickets on sale for this card. Jared Hurd taking on Julian Williams. Of course, we'll give you all the details of other bouts that are scheduled for that event on Saturday, May 11th. So again, we're just getting bigger and bigger throughout this year. This year is getting bigger and bigger. And of course, next week, just buckle up because the April schedule, we call it the Awesome April Beltway Boxing. By what you call usually call the month of May, the Magnificent May along the Beltway. So, we already have a card scheduled for May 4th. At the Waldorf Culture Center in Waldorf, Maryland. That's scheduled for May 4th as well. And the only reason why I really know that is because I am actually going to be the ring announcer for that particular card as well. I'm going to be busy as a ring announcer in the next few weeks because I'm going to be ring announcing the card at Rosecroft on April 20th, the Belfast Beltway Boxing Classic, as well as this card on May 4th. So it's going to be big, but the entire April schedule in and out of the Beltway is just going to be absolutely packed. So make sure you stay with us all throughout this time here on Boxing on the Beltway. Go to the blog, boxonthebeltway.blogspot.com, and get the latest updates from the card as well. We give you news and notes and give you commentary here on the podcast. Of course, we want you to listen to that, but also the up-to-date stuff that we end up taking from there to the podcast to give you more details on the podcast. We have on the blog, boxonthebeltway.blogspot.com. Also go to my partner's blog, proamfighttalk.blogspot.com. Warren Marshall's blog will give you all the details as well. We combine to give you great coverage of Beltway boxing. So make sure you stay with us for the next few months, especially because we have some big things planned in the next couple of months. Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network is brought to you again by Real Time Pain Relief. You go to freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real Time Pain Relief. You get a free $10 tube of Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com, great weight loss tips, as well as great jewelry on Deborah, Debra Spears.com. When you go to boxonthebeltway.blogspot.com, don't forget to click on the Best Buy and Amazon links. And you can buy make your purchases through those links, and that'll help out Boxing on the Beltway. And also, I can always be found on Twitter at Digital25. Don't forget, we'll be podcasting live, doing some updates and of course, our post-fight wrap-up show from the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. We get on the way at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the big card there at MGM. So make sure you join. Hope you'll be there in person and join us, but if you can't, of course, watch the show on FS1 and listen to our podcast right here on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Gary Digital Williams. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.